Hello, what is up everyone? I just wanted to hop in here real fast to give a quick channel update. I know this whole last week there was basically nothing posted on the channel. That is because last week my birthday was thrown in there, so instead of working and putting out a video, and the fact that I worked almost every day this week, I figured, you know what sounds like fun? Spending my birthday with my girlfriend. So that is what I did. So that's the reason that there was no video last week. I'm not dead. I haven't disappeared. I'm still alive. But thank you for everyone who stuck with that through that week. I know, like I said, I missed the video posting that week. I have one set to go up this next week. I know what I'm doing, but I just wanted to give a quick update on that. Also, the channel just hit 1,000 subscribers. That is amazing. I'm so ecstatic that it got to this point. I am super energetic about wanting to do more videos, and especially seeing that the channel's growing, so it's super fun to always see that. But as a little bit of a sorry kind of thank you present for sticking with me, I figured I'd also go ahead and throw in a quick Imaginary review here. If you want me to do a full video on it, but just as a precursor, this was also the movie that I went to go see with my girlfriend for my birthday, so interpret that what you will. But Imaginary, it's the new Blumhouse movie that came out. Blumhouse has been popping these bad boys out like it's another episode of One Piece, like they're coming out with these on the regular. I'd be shocked if I found out that Blumhouse doesn't have like a plus 300 film category here, so they're popping them out. They get paid for the quantity, not the quality. But basically the whole premise behind Imaginary is this woman starts dating this guy, and he's got 2 younger daughters from a previous marriage, and the woman has been having night terrors for the past however many months. It's been a common occurrence, and eventually they decide that they are going to move into her old family home because Dada has gone senile and he's been put in a foster home, or an old person's home, and it's their house now. So immediately upon moving in, the youngest girl, Allie, just finds this random bear trapped in the basement. And you know, whenever you think of imaginary friend names, it's usually something simple. Maybe it's like, oh, it's Vest Bear, it's Berry Bear. What if I told you this bear's name was Chauncey? Which I don't know how many of you know about NBA or anything like that, but there's a player called Chauncey Billups. They call him the alien sometimes because he does look a little odd. That's the only thing I could picture every time I heard the name Chauncey. So there's this Chauncey bear, and the bear starts telling her to do terrible things. Like, they literally have a list of stuff that says stuff that makes you scared, stuff that hurts you, stuff that would get you in trouble. So off rip, this imaginary friend is just telling this kid Alice to do all the worst things possible. And did I forget to mention that it's not just Alice? They also have a older sister who is just the most insufferable person ever. Like, I grew up with a stepdad too, but God, I wasn't this insufferable. Every opportunity she gets to create a problem with the stepmom, oh, she takes it. Every opportunity. Like, there's this like little sweet bonding moment that Jessica has with Alice, where she calls her Alley Cat, and the older sister comes in and goes, "That's our thing, don't try to steal it." Like, Jesus. Like, she's just here to be a terrible, terrible teenager. But with the damage that this imaginary friend has been doing to Alice, they eventually decide that they need to call in a therapist, because it got to the point where Alice tried to hurt herself because Chauncey told her to do so. And the therapist comes in, talks to her. Obviously, she notices that something's super wrong. Maybe it's because of the disembodied voice that keeps coming back from the imaginary bear. And so because of that, the therapist is like, "Has Alice started ventriloquism?" "Yes, Miss Therapist. Did you not know? Alice has been this absolute ventriloquist prodigy. Like, she's giving Jeff Dunham a run for her money over here." And the biggest reveal that comes out of this whole therapy session is there was never a bear. It's all in your mind. Nobody ever saw the bear. It was just Alice and Jessica that saw the bear. It's all just a imagination, man. It's all just imaginary. Whoa. And so now that the jig is up, Chauncey Bear enacts his final plan being he's going to trap them all in the imaginary land. So he takes Alice into the imaginary land, which the reason you had to collect all that stuff was so you can open a portal, which why can't the bear just do it? If it's already kind of going back and forth. But just to add more to the confusion, the neighbor next door has been studying imaginary friends over all cultures, and apparently what imaginary friends are, which I didn't know if you knew this, that imaginary friends feed off of your creativity. That's why they want you to imagine. And so whenever Alice left her childhood home at a young age, her imaginary friend was stuck there without anything to feed on. And that's why it's now attacking Alice. What? See, it all comes full circle because she didn't deal with her imaginary friend? What is this? Is this some sort of trauma? How come it came back? But eventually they go into the imaginary land, and they go into the imaginary land to try to save Alice. And as soon as they get in there, Grandma Imaginary is like, yeah, this is where I wanted to be all this time. I wanted to be trapped in the imaginary land. Look, I can create anything, before promptly being eaten by Chauncey Bear. So that was the weirdest character arc I've ever seen in my life, to go from super helpful to I just wanted to get you trapped in here so I can be in the imaginary land. But eventually they find Alice later on down in the road, and of course they're trying to tempt Alice with staying by like having all these gifts, and eventually they tell Alice, oh look, this isn't where you're supposed to be. You need to be at home. You need to go back home where you can live a normal life. And apparently you can very easily just get right back out of the imaginary land by throwing blue stuff on the wall. That's exactly what they do. They throw blue stuff on the wall, and Alice and the older sister make it through just fine, which is odd because could they do that the whole time? It's imaginary land. I don't know how it works, and that's what they're going with. And so now Jessica follows them out, trying to make sure they all get out, and they make it out, and they go back to see her dad, and she reads her book to him, and it all ends happily ever after until they give up the jig that she's still stuck in the imaginary land, which that makes zero sense to me. Why would, if you have someone trapped in your imaginary land and you want to feed off of their imagination, why would you give up the jig? Why would you basically broadcast to them that, hey, look, you're in the imaginary land. In case you couldn't tell, we still get you trapped. To me, it feels like it'd be much more worth it to just keep your mouth shut instead of advertising the fact that they're still stuck there. But upon finding this out, the older sister rolls back in with a field hockey stick and just bashes them on the back of the head, and they're actually able to make it out this time. And it's just that upon leaving the portal door thing, they just set the house on fire, and they're basically like, yeah, this seems solid. And so the house is burnt down. And that's the end of Imaginary. Is she still stuck in there? Is the house really on fire? And there's like a small after shot scene where they roll up to a hotel only to find out that there's another kid there with an imaginary friend. So I wonder if the same thing's about to happen to Alice later on, because she never had an original imaginary friend. She just adopted Jessica's imaginary friend, so maybe the cycle will repeat. I don't know. If you want to go watch it, go watch it. It's got a 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. The most annoying thing to me is that they tried so hard to just continuously drop one-liners, I guess. It's, you know how at the end of every like action movie or something in that situation, you always have that like super cool, I stick it to the man kind of moment where it's like, hey bear, looks like this imagination is just a fairy tale, or something stupid like that. There was about 50 different occasions in this movie where they really tried to just stick that in there. A lot of it was the annoying older sister, and it's like, why are we doing this? Who are you doing this for? Are you just, is this your way of rebelling as a teen? I'm gonna start dropping one-liners, just, you're not my mom. Alley Cat, that's our thing. So anyway, that's Imaginary. If you want a full breakdown video of this, I'd be more than happy to do it. It's, like I said, I've got my next plan for what I'm already going to do for one of them, so I've already got that set up. But once again, thank you to everyone who's helped get me to 1,000 subscribers. It's super awesome. I'm over the moon ecstatic about it. As soon as I can start making a little bit of dough nickel off of this, I'm gonna put all of my time and money into this. So anyways, thank you very much for stopping by, listening. Like I said, this is just a quick channel update with a short Imaginary walkthrough, I guess. But hopefully y'all enjoyed. Like I said, I've got a full-length video coming up here later, but once again, thank you to everyone who subscribed, everyone who stopped by, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Adios, everyone.